Poor bait. And they are playing all of their games immediately as well, right? It's pretty much
they're almost
done. They have one more all the way at the end.
Yeah, against mud golems, we've just said are pretty strong, right?
Yeah, like I mean, I haven't seen that much of them, but nobody has seen that much of them except if you've been scrimming them. So it's like if I look at the quality of the players and in what I expect out of Fada as a captain, especially, then yeah, I rate them highly. But not all teams can immediately start bringing it home at the start of their run.
Ooh, is this a statement or is this just a good pick? Don't get to play your hero, BZZ.
Extra points if he plays it with set on.
10 seconds remaining.
But yeah, not
5 seconds
the
remaining.
greatest of picks versus Void Spirit. Like that one is a bit of a you heard but I also heard thing. If the Void Spirit gets on top of him without the ward being there, then Pugna he has no defense against all of that magic burst. But at the same time, you know, if you have the Nether ward down, then Void Spirit doesn't really get to play. So it's really about who goes first there. But in regards to the Bloodseeker is definitely extremely unhappy about Pugna because yeah, you're going to get Decred blasted if you manage to be too close to him while you're amp damage. And of course, as a primary right-clicking hero, you're never happy to be up against a Decred.
Cooldown seems way too low for any right-clicker to be happy to play against the Pugna, that's for sure. They have some ways to deal that now.
Well, your favorite hero.
It is, yeah, incidentally.
10 seconds remaining.
Not sure about this game. It's not really a solution against the Pugna per se.
5
you can ice path, I guess. He's trying to use his anti-mage. And now it's even tougher. Like, you don't like playing Jakiro against anti-mage, I can tell you that much.
What it looks like to me is an attempt to get some tower damage out of the supports. Because right now they are extremely about brawling, extremely about pickoffs as well. Not a lot of team fight, not a lot of tower damage. And just having a bit bulkier of a support to add some of the team fight and the tower damage it feels like a good move in terms of like what the lineup needs, but of course it's not really countering anything on the enemy team. Like Tiny, Phoenix, Anti-Mage, yeah, none of them are particularly intimidated by Jakiro. Yeah. But he'll secure the lane.
That he will do, yeah. And we'll see how they can manage to shape these team fights. Like, it gives you the ability to kind of
10 seconds
anchor around together and just slowly siege if nothing else. Especially if you end up going for this attack range challenge, you can hit that liquid fire from a very safe distance on any tower. So out of tower range even, I think, is where it puts you. So that's something that you can rely on to kind of slowly chip away, especially when it comes to high ground later down the line. Like, it's kind of forcing 5 men to go out and initiate onto you, which they will be able to do, in fairness.
5 seconds remaining.
Once the anti-mage is ready, you can maybe jump into the back lines, and Tiny, of course, also. It's going to the blink dagger soon or later.
5 men have been taking out a lot of team fight control. Now the last 2 bans are just right-clicking carry, so they are very convinced as well that this Bloodseeker is going to be offlane and some form of, you know, man fighter that anti-mage can't deal with, which is, to be fair, exactly what I'd pick to deal with an anti-mage.
5 seconds remaining.
I really enjoyed the Battle Fury Ursa period where anti-mages were finding out that the Ursa farmed faster and killed them. Yes. Anti-mage is a bit of a douche, and I enjoyed seeing him get ripped to shreds.
I can certainly see where they're coming from there, yeah. I'm not going to take that one away from you. But yeah, there's some more team fight. Big beefy hero out of the offlane.
And this is Mars Phoenix.
10 seconds remaining.
Great combination, both with like the double
5 seconds remaining.
I like to call them the Venn diagram, but if you're Matumba man, you just say circles. We pick more circles. It's a favorite of Misery's.
Yeah.
Misery likes picking circles, and these two certainly do.
To be fair, circles are pretty good. I mean, circles are in many cases the better than lines that the Jakiro has to offer, you know.
The circles are
circle
complete.
From the Phoenix, the circle from the Mars.
Yep, and now it's a Lifestealer, so I think Lifestealer matches up pretty decently into Anti-Mage, even going into the late game, just because it's still a man fighter. And Anti-Mage doesn't want to do that if he can help it. He wants to jump your backlines, he wants to jump your supports, he wants to, maybe burn your mana, but he'd rather take you on last. So Lifestealer is going to do well against the Mars in the lane. Also decent attack speed for going into a Phoenix. He's not mid-game intimidated by Tiny or Pugna at all. Like, Unique have a really good way here of just keeping the game going, even if they run into some speed bumps along the way. And 5 men on the other hand, I mean, this is just, with Anti-Mage, you're always playing 4+1.
Yeah.
And
it's a pretty good 4 though, all things considered.
Yeah. They have a lot of tools, a lot of disables, a lot of interplay between these heroes. I guess I'm not the biggest fan of Pugna and Phoenix support. Where's your disables exactly? How are you gonna make sure that once you catch an enemy, they don't just walk away from you?
You supernova stun them. Right? No? Don't do that every time? Okay, yeah, that's... I guess the idea is just to blast them super fast, you've got the tiny burst, you've
Prepare for battle.
Pugna burst.
You're relying on the course to do the stunning here. All tipping ace, huh?
Maybe he needs it, what's his level? 103. Oh god, these levels are very disappointing across the board, actually.
The compendium levels?
Yeah. Not so much on the side of Unique, I guess.
I mean, these are experienced players. Maybe they've noticed that no matter how much money they spend on the compendium, it doesn't really come back into their pockets.
That is unfortunately
very true. Just saying.
That is very true.
So, focal point for me. I don't know if I trust the Bloodseeker pick that early still, and it looks like it could be a pretty decent game for it nonetheless. I don't think that apart from the Pugna Phoenix, there are too many direct hindrances to him.
See what they can make happen in this lane up top against the Anti-Mage. For now they are queuing this Rune Vansko also hanging around still to make that happen. With the old 2 for 2, you would think.
What the f just happened?
Sibba still with the OGC tag. Oh no.
I mean, is that weirder than the 2 Cloud9 tags on Misery and Ace? Oh, Pilot Eye actually also has it.
Yeah, got 3 C9s and 2 OG seats.
A plea for tier 2 Dota if I ever heard one.
You did correct then.
It is what it is, there's gonna be name changes, roster shuffles. All the time.
Oh yeah.
Those are all topics like price pool or money distribution and roster shuffles and everything. Those are all topics that if we wanted we could probably talk for hours and hours. But,
oh yeah. Let's just quit
this
game
let's
right
not
here.
Let's not do that. We actually have a job to do, which is
I thought BTS wanted another podcast.
Yeah. He's actually a podcast now. dragondrop Kips ASMR Dotacast. Also talking about important issues concerning the scene. Would perhaps be a good niche, actually, all things considered.
There's plenty of people, though. So, how about that BZZ completely dominating the creep wave here? Like, he's going to take some damage from the mana burn, but he's not too unhappy about that. It's just a shame that he can't Blood Rite spam anymore now.
Not about point on Blood Rage just yet. So far, so good.
I don't think you do that in this lane.
Yeah. Probably for
then
the
again,
best. There's a blast in your face.
like, you do want the Blood Rage somewhere in the mid game just to be able to amp up your teammates. Like, I can definitely see the Void Spirit getting some big burst damage out, but...
Highlight eye, doing the math. Yeah, alright, if I decrepify, I'm still gonna live. Level 1 Fate Bolt here on Rubik. Gets to walk away that time. Also, he has 5 Iron Branches. Can we talk about that?
He's got an entire forest in his pocket.
Ah, god. Neutral Cube. Okay. It was not a missed kill. Still
Oh,
good.
this is
Still
good.
good.
I was keeping an eye on that. The Jakiro is having a lot of trouble trading into Misery. Now mid? Farino? Ooh.
Okay.
There are also definitely some calculations.
Still hanging around here. He sees the chest, he doesn't have any mana left. So do have something in my throat, sorry.
No worries about it.
First blood? What is this? I came here to be tested.
Well, I was about to start talking about the mid matchup again, but Illusion breaks that one off. Not so calculated this time from Pi, but at least he gets to refill all of his regen now. I think Illusion is going to have to look to bite the dust somewhere.
I think I'm good now. I think I'm done dying.
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah. Of course, the worst timing as the first blood was going on at that moment. I do apologize, but hey. Plenty of kills left to be had in this game, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, with the pickup, like the pick-off heavy lineup that both of them have, this is going to be kills back and forth, no doubt. And Chessie is getting a pretty great lane here as well, although Void Spirit just got his bottle again. Not enough!
Yeah, ah! Try to keep himself alive here, but that hurts quite a bit. Especially considering they just picked up the TDU. Would have come in very handy.
I love how you could
have
like
held it until he gets level 6.
Yeah, but you could hear that Chessie was doing the calculations while he popped the mangoes. He wasn't popping them all at once. He was like, pop, 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 go.
There we go. Well, Void Spirit's back at least. Chessie full level ahead right now.
And this is concerning because, as we can see, anytime that Chessie has mana, he can just burst his Void Spirit, and this will continue happening because a lot of Void Spirit's survivability is just based on the shield that he gets from the Resonant Pulse and not actually from his HP.
And fun fact, Resonant Pulse does not block magic damage.
It does
the
not.
reckless. Maybe you wished you were an Ember Spirit right now. Right then. Yeah, 19 down bottom. Doing quite well. Some bird on bird action here. Phoenix versus Kira. I like playing both of these. I'm very torn on who I want to win that one.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Turn us around and Buddha, who is slowly moving away. We don't want to go to the bulwark. Meanwhile, Elsewhere on the map though.
Ooh, that was close.
He's almost dying, but not quite. So instead, 2 kills going away in 5 minutes.
Oh, and that was much needed because he was really getting outdone on the last hits there, getting a lot of denies done to him as well. And now gets to buy his Ring of Health from the side shop, and he gets to stay in this lane now.
It's like the one big milestone for any anime, just
Yeah. Oh man, I still call it the side shop. It's not.
It is kind of to the side.
Side
you know?
shop.
It's very close to the side.
Agents of the void.
Hey, right back almost to full health. Unlike little reflect there. So spells being casted back and forth on bottom as per usual.
And it's just these two supports trading into each other, hoping to create a kill opportunity for their core on the other side.
Only got the courier with the boots on him actually.
Are you even trying?
That's not too bad. 19 without boots for a while.
Yeah, that's a big miss micro as well. Why was the courier there?
Called for reinforcements. Found out they're hanging around for a little bit too long. Chessie though, he just gets a free kill after that. But Rubik wanted to hang around against that.
Yeah, I suppose Illusion felt safe because he had some charges on his wand, but he just died before he could get him off.
Yeah.
This is how I expect a lot of this game to go further still. A lot of scrappy pickoffs here and there, just because there's a lot of damage on both of these sides in a burst, but not sustained. So kills are gonna happen pretty haphazardly when parties find each other.
Very fast and loose with all of these. Certainly once the Blink Dagger comes online, like Tiny already maxing, already got Outlash maxed out, so burst damages where you can get the toss out as well, but you can't. With Tiny being in his mid position rather than before that we often see, you're gonna get the Blink Dagger.
He's going to be an absolute menace. Like, look at the amount of damage that these two are being able to put out. The Jakiro definitely needed to be here because if he didn't get the Jewel Breath on the creep wave just now, this would have cost Unique most of their mid tower's HP because of Pilot Eye being here.
Yep.
And I gotta say, really enjoy them moving him to the middle here. This really shows that they favor the tempo over, let's say, the safe farm of the anti-mage. It's like, you know what, Ace, you get your ring of health, you're gonna be fine, right?
I mean, this has been the dual lane mid for a long time now.
Yeah, as soon as he got the ring. High left.
It's blasting tower, or at least now starting to blast the tower. Chipping away at that one. Illusion back up top, realizing that maybe it's better for him to try and put pressure on Ace rather than trying to set up for anything in mid.
Oh, Jesse read that perfectly, didn't he?
Yeah, Ace unable to really survive this one as you watch it up, but it's gonna be once again at 1-for-1.
I mean, he read that perfectly, but not perfectly enough. Like, he must have been calculating again before he threw the avalanche, because you can avalanche there and save Ace, I think. But then, yeah, obviously you're not getting a kill for yourself anymore.
Yep. As I said, he doesn't give a damn about anti-mage, right?
Yeah. Guess not. And I mean, I like that mindset more than the other one where you just, you know, sacrifice everything for the carry to farm right from the start, because he's going to be busy farming for the next 15 minutes anyway.
Yep.
Like, you tack 2 minutes on, that's fine. The one who isn't going to be farming, the one who needs to buy the space in the meantime, is Jesse. Which is why I enjoy, well, how Raven played a weak fan, for example. Which just saw him, yeah, okay, you're a Lycan, you're alone in this lane, you can regenerate, good luck. And then he came out of the jungle at 20 minutes with everything and proceeded to run over all the towers.
Yeah. Especially in a draft like this, when you have a hero like Tiny, who can
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
bit of a fight here to bring down Wongs. They were trying to run away, being chased down by 19. But he's got the spear ready to go.
Radiant's middle tower has
But
fallen.
you're like Tiny, where the earlier you get that Blink Dagger, the longer you can really leverage this instant kill on most heroes. With the Avatar's combo.
He's got an Invis now as well. Oh man. BZZ's gotta be careful.
1,000 health points.
He has a sentry. He has a sentry. They see him.
Okay, that was very important. They caught this one out.
Radiant's courier
still
has
dies.
been killed.
Wah, wah.
It's like,
Radiant
yeah,
structures are
no way
fortified.
they didn't have vision.
Rubik, by the way, having stolen the blink, this might matter.
Ah, feels so good. Look at this. Easy engage.
Rupture.
Easy
It's a
rupture.
big kill, which they should be able to get, especially with the Void Spell also rotating. Jesse does have an avalanche now to delay this somewhat. Yeah, that's a big deal. We're talking about this Blink Dagger. It's delayed now. Quite a bit.
It is, yeah. Like, he knows that he's most likely seen there, but he still hangs around because it creates a point of engagement, which means that if they want to go for him, they're not bringing anyone down to mid to deal with Planet Eye, because he did take the mid tower in the meanwhile. So it's once again a calculated exchange, but of course he rather would have lived.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Pilot Eye also not wasting much time after that mid, just straight up rotating bottom, and this tower's also down below half health. The siege cube actually take it away from lifesteal. That's one way to try and slow this down. But a little bit too much here.
Just zoom it off. There you go, I'm out of here.
Top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower
Tiny too
has
strong
fallen.
and too fast.
Ace actually getting involved, jumping on Venskar. I guess he just felt like he had an ult and he... Oh, no. Didn't want to use it? Okay. Too threatened by the Bloodseeker top, I think.
That would not have been enough damage, I don't think. Well, level 1 mana void is very underwhelming.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Magic is an abomination.
Oh, Chassis not again. Is this calculated too if he dies?
That
If
one
he lives,
is
why
not.
die with the extra heal? This is bait! That's what this is. That's another dying because I'm also rotating in. And that is enough manpower for Unique to say, alright, we're just kidding. You may leave.
Double blink queued up here, by the way. I'm not sure if they have enough survivability to get away with that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'd much rather see a Vlad or something like that on Jibba.
Huh. Yeah, no DC is one of those type of items, Vlad, so even just a hood.
And he is not the primary method of engagement, right?
No.
Radiant are scanning.
You're always going to rely on your Tiny to go in first, get either the entrance skill or the entrance disables, and then you can follow up on top of that. Maybe he's concerned that he won't be able to cross distance. But
Really good position for Misery there to drop the Phoenix in. I mean, it is a wasted Supernova, but there was also Rupture being spent on it. So more or less even as oh god, I should have paid attention to that. Lifesteal takes a dip while all of that was happening.
I saw that. Shiba more or less baited him into sticking around. Spending his rage too.
So Blink Dagger's online now for Chessie. You'd imagine the game. Yeah, there's the smoke out there. This goodbye illusion. That here with a bit of help from Pilot Eye.
So this is the era of Tiny, and this is where Dire's Fusion is really going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you need to just engage into them. Like
Just kill him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, if you give a Tiny at this point the opportunity,
Look at Shivik out in
he
from the
will
side.
keep doing that. No?
If he can get a spear out of the trees,
Might still be able to. That is the avalanche combo once again. The spear, but able to really do much with that, unfortunately. Didn't have a good angle.
once again, that Void Spirit is not farming right now. He's going to start farming for the time. Oh, Validai?
It's 19. There's the Crapify. They do secure a bounty rune here with the Void Spirit, but the Arena catches both of them. Lornoff, he's so freaking dead. 19. Well, it does have an infest with creep there, but the Shakir's already dead. He's trying to run and he... at least they get the counter kill on the mask guy, but...
Radiant's top
He's-
tower.
Yeah, I don't know that you want to stick around here into the combo! With the Decrepify!
Missed the spear. Empire walks out.
They do not have a slow, but they do have blast stones. I mean, all of this is still money for Chelsea. All of this is also space for our rent.
Yep, Ace is so happy with this. Like, these scrappy games where teams are just trading kills back and forth, can't really go for objectives during all of this, he loves that stuff. And 19 team, finishing up an armlet right now, he needs to go right into the deso. He doesn't have time to get involved in all of this. He's be hitting creeps.
Is under attack.
Well, with the meme hammer already online. Cool item. Mid tier 1 still very healthy for the Dire side, so a couple of teams coming in to try and secure this. Oh, Zibber! If he got now, well, that would have been sick. Instead, tossed back on BZ, blasting him down. Still keeping alive momentarily here, but Highlight Die with the safety net. The life straight over on Tiny just to make sure. He's gonna live as Zibber. What the hell was that? Past the GG tree? I didn't know it worked like that.
No, he put a GG tree down.
Yeah.
And tried to spear him into it.
Speed passive.
It was very strange. But yeah, this is kind of an example of why Blink on Mars isn't too convincing to me. Everything he did in those scenarios right there was possible without a blink.
Yep.
And the spear back just doesn't feel the same as a skewer back for some reason. I don't know what it is, but it seems to have a lot lower rate of execution. Let me put it that way.
Maybe it's because you're not right there to follow up with anything. Like you have to walk after him. It also kind of depends on. Yes, another burst, another kill.
Wish I could say that I'll miss you.
Just keep seeing that. There's the arena onto a very isolated BTS.
And this is where BCZ, even though he's had a great laning stage and he hit a double item, he's got a fail, he's got a mech, he's got a lot of stuff for his team. He feels like he should be ready to fight, but they're not quite together. And I think the fact that 19 team got involved too early means that he is now away, while this could have been an interesting timing with his armlet, for example. So it all feels a little bit disconnected, and Unique are really getting punished for it. Jesse is just a murderer. Serial killer.
Suddenly a 6-1-5. Him and Pyla die. I really like how they're really playing next to each other, more or less.
Yep. Well, Pies.
Jesse, oh my god, perfectly predicting that. No, never mind, he got the word. Thought he got
not anymore.
Not that time.
It's over now.
Considering that was a 5-on-2, I think you're happy if you walk away with a 1-for-1 trade there if you 5-win.
Yeah, the way that these kill combinations, basically, the 5 men have been playing together, so High and Chessie, and then Shiba and Misery is just really very enjoyable, and they get to keep Unique spinning on the map. They don't know where to look next, especially not right now, because he's not even a real target here.
Let's go here, and the last punch will do it. Did tank a rupture. Sounds up at the moment, but hey, I was just waiting for PCZ to try to make something with that. Misery ready to respond.
This game has turned into a nightmare for Unique.
Like that. Yeah, it's Unique. Need to find a way to stabilize. Stop.
I mean, can't let themselves get baited. At the same time, that's what you're hoping. Because you already know that with how much this anti-mage has been farming, that there's no way your lifestealers still ahead. So you have to hope that they mess up. And it makes you all the more likely to grab onto these baits.
It looked like it would have been devastating damage towards Pugna, but he's fine. He's still healing now with his single boots.
He went totally
out. They can get on Chessie. Actually gonna go on Phoenix. Probably a bad idea seeing him as sort of a supernova messing things up. Not anymore though, as Illusion.
Oh?
Somebody else missed the spear, unfortunately. But hey, there's the roots. People trying to walk it off. Not the easiest target to bring down. This is 5 as it turns out. Now they have time for Chessie coming in. Ace says hello and goodbye to 2 heroes. They come up together now. Pilot Ice still alive. They're all going in inside the arena. They're not okay. They're gonna get Pugna. What cost here? Ace is clicking. He's kind of low. Doesn't want a man fight against 19 team. Just wants to have Chessie continue these punches. Nice little spear to cancel the teleport.
Bonk.
And the blink to follow. That was a fight. And that was. It was Unique. Not really understanding that they can't kill Zibba. Or Jibba.
They can't. It's a combination of them being kind of underfarmed and underleveled from being, you know, taking weird fights before this as well. And then also just, well, you have trouble getting damage when your Unique's line up against a Mars Tiny anyway. So they burst your heroes one by one, and they don't really have to focus fire anyone. They just, you know, Tiny just does that.
I love how Pilot I can just be a medic.
Yep. This is... Honestly, it feels like an absolutely ideal role for him. This man is so good at playing in service of his team. And, you know, his positioning has been perfect. He has been up so far. And he has been enabling Chessie so much with that. Like, the trust that shows is just incredible. And That's the best way to make this combination work. You just have a really juicy Pugna sitting in the front.
I was gonna say... I was gonna say Vanscore, perfect positioning here as he TP'd out Dross behind the tree so they didn't see him. But if they did see him, Jesse would have maybe gone on him instead of the Void Spirit. It would have been better for them. As it stands, they'll die anyway, so... Things are officially out of hand now.
Radiant structures are
and the scrappy part where, you know, they traded kills back and forth is definitely over now as well. Unique just ran out of damage. They straight up do not have enough of it anymore.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Again, that one fight around Baroche Bed, it was the first time where we saw Ace actually come into play. But even without him, it feels like top 5 men. That's a good pick up. Paladin inside the arena now is 19. Spear winning it out. Still ruptured, so he kind of has to stick around for the moment. Still Supernova available for alternatives, and they do. Jesse goes in with a big person. A couple of heroes unable to finish on anyone. Oh, this time the medic was not enough. Paladin. All of a sudden finds himself in front lines. Jesse with the Silver Edge. He's not safe.
There's Ace.
Vanscore this time, he will fall. Ace comes in to clean up, and there we go. Easy target on the Rubik. And Jesse, of course, he's not done. He's going in with another nuke down. He's going to buy back a Rubik now. In this couple of seconds, and can turn back around. This time, he can catch him, toss forward. Find himself some space. He's gonna need some help now. Paladin's back though with the heals. Supernova in the back forces them to retreat.
Radiant's middle has fallen. Radiant's
Power of
middle
friendship right there.
are under attack.
Absolutely, and that's a buyback for the power of friendship as well. I might add. Paladin died. He did have to buy back to come in here.
Nice. Link out.
Healthy. Thanks to that Phoenix. Double heal supports. I gotta say, if you're playing forward all the time, then there is no problem that you don't have a lot of stuns, because they'll have to come into you. There's simply no space for them to run away. They're gonna fight you if you just keep on hitting your buildings. And yeah, as it turns out, if you do that, you have that double heal backbone behind a couple of tanky cores, then you can just stand there with 4 people and fight and trade spells until Ace comes in.
Oh, yeah.
It's working out splendidly for 5 men, and I gotta say, I'm very impressed by this Paladin Chessy combination here. It's
been working wonders for them this entire game. And alright, trying to make a play against Ace.
But
he is decently tanky, but they will be able to bring him down. Can they deal with the rest of the team? Arena, Chessy goes in. They're gonna try and punish, but Ornoff's still alive. That is follow-up avalanche. Will do the trick. Beyond Godlike for him. BZ dies. That's the ice path. As Chessy is just invis, looking for another way. But of course they see him. Not that it matters. Vanscore still not dropping to a tree toss. 19. That's optimistic teleport. Oh, yeah, they get Ace, but then they're out of steam and then they die. Works the other way too. I mean,
the problem with finding Ace is that they have been winning fights with 5 men without Ace even being there.
Yeah.
All of the damage and the disables have all been from the other 4 heroes, so just because you pick off Ace doesn't mean you actually get the fight. Their only option was really to get out there as fast as possible, but I'm not sure if they were actually committed to getting out. I do think that maybe you can get 19 out there if you try harder.
Are you even trying?
Which is also why, since they didn't try that, I'm a little bit surprised that that wasn't actually the GG fight and that they're not calling it right now, because that is not a good enough trade.
Yep.
It isn't. And when you make a play like that, you know that you're really far behind.
Well, maybe they figure, alright, at the very least it was on the other side of the map, so there's no instant high ground push afterwards.
Yep, that's true. There's pretty much no direct consequences apart from, you know, another item in the pocket of one of 5 men's heroes.
This would be a nice pick-up though. They can get it. This is Sunday already.
Look at that heal!
Shiba, he's just so tanky. There's 3 people around him, they barely scratched him. Now 3 people can't sight the arena. Supernova doesn't want to use it. Instead, he just gets a double meme hammer on top of the Ace with a follow-up. Get the damage from that Mana Void, but still absolutely fine with that. Hey, guess what? Cue the Jesse, but 19 has the Rage available still, and now this could be a good takeoff, but just too much HP.
Look at them just bathing in that sun ray.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Team's still standing, of course. Why is he meme hammering behind himself? Oh, of course, yeah. They're fighting there with the tower still being alive.
They paid very little attention to, well, how do I say this? Pilot I has been paying a lot of attention to towers, which is why the rest of his team doesn't have to.
Yeah.
And very rarely have I seen a support Pugna do this much work.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to know.
Then following the playbook, oh, you have map control, you've got all the other towers. What do we do? Oh, we get Rush.
It's all very smooth. And it sort of echoes a talk that we had in the time between games, right? If you have a lineup that sort of plays itself, then once you get that advantage, it's just a smooth ride.
Yeah. So he's got the blink range.
All in your position. Oh, Lorena.
What is that? That's Lord of so low. I think he
Hi,
got out, but he's right on top of Illusion here. Couldn't find Lord off again. Jesse's super low as well. He's taken out. He's not taken out. He's still alive, Kips. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
At least they got the highlight.
My life is too big to be sad.
Honestly, that was a very surprising call from 5 men who said that they're going in there. In most circumstances, that is not a good call, and you could see that they were actually very close there to just getting burnt down by the Macropyre. That choke point was maybe the only place on the map where they could have lost a fight like this, but once again, just too far ahead after a magnificent performance by Chessie and Piladai. Like, I don't think you can take those two apart in a performance in this game at all. It's both of them.
Chessie, 37,000 hero damage. Piladai, 24,000.
How about that tower damage?
Yeah, pretty decent. Misery also got a little bit done with the meme
with the hammer.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say?
Much less even than I expected, honestly.
Yeah.
I definitely thought that Unique could go toe to toe with them, especially in a game that required a little bit more, scrappiness, a little bit more of that, that CIS mentality.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've seen BZZ play a lot of games where he had less farm better if he's on an actual utility hero. I didn't feel his impact this game, neither in his movement nor in any of the moves that his team did towards him. This Bloodseeker did not get off the ground.
Yeah.
And that's what I'd really like to see from him in a next game, is something like, I don't know, his Bat Rider or something like that, where he can actually dedicate the pace of the game by being there. Because I do think that he is one of their big experience strong points, and in this game that just kind of didn't come through.
Right, we'll see what they can put together in the next game, which will also be the last game of the day, which I'm very sad about. But cannot change that. What we can do, though, is be happy in anticipation of it. It's going to start in a few minutes. Stay tuned.